What's up, man? Unmute.
I was muted at first. There we go. For my first intro, welcome, guys. It's Friday, April the 16th. Welcome to this edition of Morning Pod. We're going to be talking about DogeCoins. We're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and aliens. Welcome, guys.
What's up? What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was excited to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then you mentioned the DogeCoins, but then I saw the stuff that's been coming out. One of the few good things Trump did before he left, he's like, I want all the stuff on aliens released in April. Okay. I was like, dude, I already signed that. Like, they're gonna reverse that as soon as he's gone. But we got some stuff to look at.
Yeah, I like how it got leaked to Jeremy.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. So the video that you sent me, like all that video and a couple other pictures, stills, those were leaked to Jeremy Corbell.
Oh, wow.
And he's the one who, in turn, authenticated it and then released it publicly.
Okay, so, because the Pentagon has reacted. Usually the government's just like, well, I don't know what that is. But like the last few years, they've been actually like, yes, we do not know what that is. And we're like, okay, because the Pentagon has reacted.
TV on, now it's going to double up. But I think they had to, because if they didn't,
something's coming.
I think so. And I know, like, not to scare anyone or do anything like that, create panic. But I do think there's maybe a reason that they're being so coy about everything, and they'll talk here and there. I do think it's a form of like softening us up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So they have plausible deniability. Like, no, we told you.
Yeah.
Part
of that, and I don't think it'll be negative, or at least as negative. I don't think it's going to be like like what horror movies make us think it's going to be. Because like, what do we have that they would want?
Aliens.
Yeah.
I think, and like you mentioned, Jeremy actually said this is like the best footage we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Of spacecraft, of alien spacecraft.
I need you to send these Navy fighter pilots our equipment, because I don't know why it always looks like that. They don't have like one good $200 4K camera so we can see the thing in light.
Yeah, and these are like so these are like anti-gravitational like ships. They're not they're not propelled by any combustion engine or anything like that. These are noise. No noise.
We don't know how that works.
And then shaped like pyramids.
Yeah.
It's really
bizarre.
They made sure that it wasn't like a balloon or something else before they came out and said, okay, listen, we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not to say it's alien, but it's not ours.
Yeah.
And they make that very clear. They're not saying it's alien.
But here's the thing.
But it's unidentified.
If it was a foreign government, they would not be releasing that stuff. The U.S. military would be like, trying to copy. Like, I don't know.
I'm
not saying it's aliens.
I agree. Yeah.
It's aliens.
Yeah, and then another thing is, I know I've been talking about it recently, but DogeCoin again. Like I said, I bought in this at 7 cents per share, and it hit 50 cents this morning.
Oh, wow.
So percentage wise, think about it.
Yeah.
Right. It's not, the stock's not worth a lot, but say you put $400 in.
Yeah.
You're up 226%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Even if you put 90 in, that's roughly, then we're looking at somewhere around like 331, something like that. So even small, and it's starting to look like the GameStop thing, because people it's trending on Twitter. So it's gone to show you the difference of the stock market these days with the impact of social media.
Yeah. Now, can you monetize that? Like, can you turn that into cash? Or does it have to stay as no? Okay, I've never been too well read on cryptocurrency.
Each DogeCoin has a cash worth.
Okay.
And that's what I'm talking about. So when I say it's at 50 cents a share, because crypto works differently. Each Dogecoin is worth 25 cents.
Okay.
Each Dogecoin is worth 50 cents.
Okay.
So I bought it when they were worth 7 cents.
Yeah.
The same 1,000 DogeCoin that I had when they were worth 7 cents are now worth 50 cents. You see how that works? So now I have now I have 1,200 DogeCoin that are worth 50 cents instead of 7 cents.
Yeah.
So that's how they increase in value.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how any stock increases in value.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's been a wild ride. This has only been in 1 week.
This is only 1 week. Oh, wow. Yeah, because you were talking about last week, right?
Yeah, the kid that lives with me, he was like, dude, buy Dogecoin right now. And I was like, stocks really aren't my thing, yada, yada, especially crypto. It's very volatile. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, it's going to be 60-something cents by April. And I was like, all right. So I put a little bit of money in. And then that same night, it doubled. And I was like, all right, let me put a lot of money in. and you know, he texts me every couple minutes, and he's like, you know, it's here, because he knows that I do this. Yeah. And with a stock that's acting like this right now, you do need to be paying attention to it every minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, because once it starts to plummet, like say it's at 50 cents.
Yeah.
And you start, now it's at 40. Sell it at 40.
Yeah.
If it just dropped 10 points like that, sell it at 40 and then reinvest it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If say it got back down to 10 cents, reinvest that, the what you sold at 40 cents back in at 10 cents.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get back up to 50 cents.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. So, and eventually level out.
Exactly. And that's what people are thinking, that crypto, you know, crypto is going to replace the dollar bill and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's interesting if anyone's interested in it.
With the rate of inflation, the dollar bill is going to be kind of, I don't want to say it's going to become useless. Obviously not useless. Our economy is really powerful, but
it's definitely, it's going to be less and less. But, you know, you mentioned something, Tyler, yesterday that I thought was really interesting, that there was going to be like different levels of the cryptocurrency, like Dogecoin being like, you know, being like what, the dollar bill or whatever.
Yeah. So it looks like that's what looks like it's aiming to be, or shaping up to be, would be that, you know, Bitcoin is like the, you know, the highest rank, then Ethereum, and then, you know, there's like one other one, and then Ethereum Classic, and then Dogecoin, and they would take the place of, you know, the different denominations of bills. And it's been really interesting to watch and be a part of. Like, it's funny, it's fun when your money starts working for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and but then again, don't spend what you can't afford to literally wake up and all be gone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's always the risk, even with stocks. I mean, I was in business school and they taught us stocks and everything. And even then, like, you have your blue chip stocks that are guaranteed to make you money, but they're like, I don't know, you invested in Walmart or something like that, right? That Walmart's never
right now, those are like Apple, Tesla.
Yeah.
You know, the NASDAQ, the for instance, I have an airline that is very, very consistently growing. And that's considered a safe long-term stock. So you can put, you know, money into long-term stocks that, you know, you won't see drastically different numbers every day, but it's on the steady increase. Yeah. And those are safe, right? Yeah. Apple, we know Apple's safe. We know Tesla's actually pretty volatile.
If I could go back in time and invest in something, I would have invested in Facebook in like 2005.
Oh yeah.
You would have known.
Facebook is actually, it's another deemed safe stock. Yeah. But you know, one day it'll be down, and Facebook scares people because one day it'll be down 10%.
Yeah.
And then over a week it'll catch that back up. So the stock market's really
my thing with social media sites, be careful, because there's a lot of discussion in the government right now on whether they should be, you know, should they fall under the, you know, free speech provisions of the First Amendment. And anytime you have Congress getting involved and laws are put on Google or Twitter or Facebook, you know, stocks fluctuate because then there's risk and stuff like that involved, you know?
Yeah. Agreed. And, all right. Yeah. So, but guys, keep an eye on DogeCoin. it's trending on Twitter. We could have another GameStop situation on our hands potentially.
Right.
And if anyone doesn't regret not getting into GameStop that like week or so, I mean, and then we see these residual effects because GameStop, which is, let's face it, a guy like me even knows, GameStop is on its way to the blockbuster heaven, right?
Right. It is. Absolutely.
And right now its stock is at $150 per share. And that's residual from what happened.
Yeah.
Because the stock is now holding at a way higher price than it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was $4 or $1, 3-4 months ago. And it's holding at 150 right now. So just keep an eye on it, guys. And then any updates, of course, we'll let you know on the morning show. That's what we do. No topic is off.
That's right.
Man. So then
Morning, Jack.
Morning, Jack.
We stayed up. So that's why I had you do the intro. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty.
We stayed up and watched. We actually had a pretty good crowd. We had like 9 or 10 people with us last night watching Falcon and Winter Soldier at 3 a.m. or 12 respectively, and I had a good time.
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun, and it was a great episode. It was like
it was kind of last minute. I didn't really announce it to anyone until an hour before. So to have like 10 people just hang out and watch it, it felt it was a nice little crowd. Got to reconnect with
watch party. Yeah.
So we'll definitely do it next week if you're interested, Jack. But if not, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting, my sister said something that kind of was what I thought. I'm like, there's only one more episode left. She's like, I feel like it just got started. I'm like, yeah, I feel like the story's just kind of getting going, and now they got to resolve it. Did you get that vibe too? I don't know.
Well, Austin said last night he thought that it felt like that was the finale.
It did. Yeah, last night's episode was really like, I was like, I mean, obviously there's other stuff to still come, but it was a really, really good episode. And there was a lot of closure and a lot of things resolved in I think really good ways.
Yeah. I think it's 6 episodes. Like I felt like episodes 1 and 2 could have been condensed into one, and then this should be like closer to 8 or 9, like The Mandalorian. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say this episode was a full hour. It was a full hour. So it was the longest we've gotten, for sure. So they had a lot of time to do stuff,
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. I think Zemo, his story is done for now. I remember Ty, you were asking last week, we're like, are we done with Zemo? And this was sort of like our goodbye to him, at least in this series. I do not think he's going to go back to jail. I think something else is going to happen. Because now that we know he's rich and powerful, like I don't think it's going to be that simple.
Yeah, I when it comes to not the government holding him, I think that's where anything can come in, right? Anything comes into play. Like it's not as solid when the Wakandans show up for you. Yeah.
But they said Raft prison. That's where they had the Avengers after Civil War.
Right, and we see how that lasted.
Cap was able to get him out. Right. Speaking of that opening fight scene, reminded me very much at the end of Civil War of Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man fighting. And there's even a shot where he's got the shield and Sam goes like this. It reminded me of what because for a second you thought like is Cap about to kill Iron Man, but in this, obviously, but it's interesting. John Walker's story in some ways is mirroring Isaiah Bradley when John Walker's in front of the congressional hearing and he's like, I was trained by you. I followed my orders. I did everything. And now you're leaving me out to dry kind of like thing. And then we see that kind of repeated by what Isaiah says, the African-American super soldier who said, I did my job. I rescued my men. He basically did what Cap did in World War II, which is to go rescue his friends from the POW camp. But he got in trouble for it and was experimented on. I'm like, okay, they're kind of showing the parallels. And John Walker gets a slap on the wrist,
Right. Well, and there was a lot in that fight. I was pretty surprised. John Walker, and Tyler mentioned it last night. He's psycho.
He's a psycho.
He's straight. Psycho. He was gonna do the same thing that he did to that guy on the street.
Yeah.
To Sam.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, I mean, I did not. I knew they were gonna try to hurt each other. Obviously.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect him to be like, no, I'm full on going to kill you guys.
Yeah. I don't think he's in control as much. Like he's not like cognitively thinking like I'm going to kill Sam. It's just like he's so He's like in this kind of, it's like road rage, like you just kind of suddenly lose it.
I don't know, man. I think he was pretty intent when he looked at Sam, and I was like,
they included several shots in his face.
Yeah,
and just look at his face. You can tell in his eyes
that a punchable face. It's
oh my god!
Found a guy with a
with like the
face.
Half lisp kind of. Yeah. Like he might not even be lisping, but his face looks like it is.
Not only that, he has like an unclean shave, like Captain America supposed to have a clean shave.
Yeah. No, he's definitely punchable.
But I hope he's not the main villain. I mean, I'm not sure what they're setting up for the last episode. I think
it's the Flag Smasher still, but
okay, good.
But I think in the sense that you remember when Baron Mordo became the secondary villain of Doctor Strange in an after credit scene.
Yeah,
I kind of think that's what we just got with US Agent.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna see him in the finale.
Because I think what's her name? The Contessa Valentino. She's a Shield agent, isn't she?
Well, she becomes like Madam Hydra, but yes, she's theoretically a Shield agent. But she has ulterior motives.
Okay, all right.
She's basically like the new Gary. Remember Gary Shandling from Iron Man and all that?
Yeah, the senator.
She's basically the new him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I miss him. He died a couple of years ago. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I was surprised it wasn't Thunderbolt. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Right.
When I saw the figure walking towards us and they wouldn't show us, I feel like it was really weird to not show her us because we've never seen her before.
Yeah.
So it was like, why you hide someone that we've never seen?
I think that's sort of like a cinematic tool to make you know that she's important. And of course, it was Julie Louis-Dreyfus, the wonderful Julie
I thought it was Courtney Cox, dude.
Yeah, you can. Courtney Cox.
I was like, is that Courtney Cox? And I was like, well, she doesn't look so plastic, so I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, that woman. But to the average fan, I know they don't know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
they have no clue.
Again, with the cameos that don't really matter, or they're throwaway cameos, I'm sure that's going to pay off in the future.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that.
I don't think this will be as bad as Dick Boner.
No, or Ralph Bonner.
Ralph Bonner. That's right. Yeah.
Or the the cameo in WandaVision with the general that no one knew. No one cared about, the military cameo.
Yeah. We have someone coming next week, and it comes next week, and Well, let me ask you this: what do you think is in that case? Is that Bucky has? Is it
it's a suit.
That's the suit.
I know, but is it a cap suit or is it a Falcon?
Look at the way he reacted.
Yeah,
he's choked up. It's a Captain America / Falcon suit. So it's a mix between both.
Yeah. Okay.
It combines because let's face it, he's not a superhero. In the sense of super strength, super yada yada. So I think what Bucky did was let's get this dude some vibranium.
Yeah.
First off, right? Strongest metal. Maybe he doesn't have to carry the shield around. Let's make a suit for him out of the same metal.
Yeah.
Right. And combine his flight because he gave up his wings. He gave up his wings.
Yeah.
Right.
So to take on new wings, that would be symbolic in a way as well. So I do think you could tell by the color of the case and the logo on the top of the case with 2 wings.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely it's exciting for me because the whole time, especially during that fight with US Agent, I'm thinking, man, Sam is the only one here that doesn't have super strength that does that. When he takes a hit from these guys, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
It's it's not like you had that scene where Bucky and him were just kind of punching each other back and forth.
Yeah.
No, this was Sam he's fragile. He's he's not like these guys. So I'm excited to see if it's a vibranium suit, now to see him with some power to it too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it'll be I think the last episode is gonna be one big battle. It kind of bugs me that I'm not quite sure what so I know they want a one world government, but they're stealing supplies to help refugees, but the GRC is trying to rehabilitate 20 million refugees. And I think I'm still not clear why they're against that.
So
and why Sam's I understand where you're coming from.
Well, their whole thing is this: is when the blip or whatever happened.
By the way, that's a stupid name. I remember the Russo brothers originally said the decimation in 2018. I'm like, ooh, that sounds scary.
Right. And then they changed it to the blip. So
sounds childish.
Yeah.
Right. So, but Carly talked about, how when everybody from the blip returned, it was like everybody who was, around those 5 years was forgotten about. It was like all the focus was on the people that came back. And so that's her thing. She's like, she wants to turn, I think it's almost like a Thanos motive. She wants to turn the world back to.
But I feel like they're trying to get us to like her. Like she has a just cause. But then the TRC is like, we must help these 20 million displaced people. I'm like, wait, so who's the bad guy here?
I think they're trying to play it the same way they did with Thanos. Everybody looked at Thanos and was like, man, that's fucked up. You can't kill all those people.
Yeah.
Language
would kind of help the planet. Oh my bad. So, but
that's it. You're fired. Get justice back.
But I think they're trying to play that same thing with Carly. And I'm not sure. I'm kind of with you. I'm not sure that it's kind of work because I'm not that sympathetic towards her motivations.
But I feel like they want us to be, and I'm like, not really.
Right.
Like, when was it John Walker's wife?
Annoying, actually.
Quite what?
I find her quite annoying.
So do I. Yeah.
Like annoying that she's so young and like she is kind of arrogant in her ways, and I get it, right? We're kind of like a PC nation, and like we want to include everybody and stuff. But like I think
that's exactly what it is.
I really feel like Steve Rogers would have walked up and just boom and just knocked him out and was like,
"Who said this? Who said to him like to John Walker like what you did was 100% right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe, why not?" Like this is where like I always say the MCU is a little too sanitized. Like Cap definitely killed people in World War II, and he captured and killed a terrorist, and the world's like. And I'm seeing this like I don't know. I guess this naivete online, especially in comment section, like you're not supposed to kill terrorists. I'm like, we're not. Like it's like we're supposed like they killed Bin Laden.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, dude, these people blew up buildings, and they're gonna blow up another building with people in it who are trying to help refugees. Like I don't understand. Like them being a little playing it too safe. And then like at one point, Falcon said. That shield has a complicated history. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Well, he was really trying to say America has a complicated history.
Right.
That I got, but I'm like, not that shield. Steve Rogers was like,
that shield was in ice for how long?
Like 70 years.
Yeah, I don't think the shield is a history. I think that the corrupted government has a history.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what you're basically trying to say. Mm-hmm. And that's why Dreyfus
take that shield down. That doesn't represent pop culture corner.
That's why Dreyfus says, here's a dirty little secret. The government doesn't own that shield.
Yep.
It never did.
It was made by Howard Stark. Stark Industries made it.
That shield does not represent America. It represents Captain America. Yeah. And those are two different things.
I was curious, is this shield the same one that Cap had? Because I remember that one got destroyed. Did Tony Stark fix the old shield?
I think he went back in time, so anything could have happened.
Okay.
But you could tell. So there's different markings on the shield. If you go look at the shield, say Winter Soldier, his star is very much not like it. It looks like that almost, but
there are markings on it.
There are a few little markings on it, like in the star. There's like little lines. If you look at Sam's shield. The design of the markings are different. So I do think it's, either
fixed up twice because it broke during the fight in Civil War, but then Thanos also broke it in Endgame.
Right. And I think that's just more or less like chalked up to movies or whatever. But they can explain that pretty easily.
Yeah.
From at least from what I'm saying. So
what's John Walker making his out of? Aluminum?
Yeah.
I don't. That's a good question. What was that metal? What was he using? Like,
probably just steel.
I mean, it's not like he's gonna get his hands on on some vibranium or anything. Like.
No, that guy does not have vibranium. He barely has brain cells.
Right. Yeah. so
I don't know if he's got vibranium, but
right. Exactly. So
no,
I don't know. I guess metal. Yeah.
Yeah, just some steel. You might. I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand. I get it's more symbolic for him, I think. In the like, he still believes that he's Captain America.
Yeah.
No matter what, right? Like, he doesn't care that no one else will recognize him as Captain America.
Yeah.
He is, in his mind, Captain America still.
By the way, this show. Oh, God.
Little testimony, like, I am Captain America.
Yeah. Like, dude, you were capped for like a week. That's got to be like some record.
Wow.
But see, doesn't this remind you? This whole show is a good example of why Cap was right in Civil War, that you can't trust governments. Their agendas change, and at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do. And Cap was a victim to that. He became an enemy of the state. Like, for what it's worth, John Walker did what the U.S. government wanted him to do. He just got caught doing it on camera. Think about that. If that wasn't on camera and he told them what they did, they're like, good. What I
said to Austin, I said, if they couldn't sweep it under the rug easily, they're gonna blame you.
So in a sense, he's right. He's like, you made me what I am, and now you're taking it away from me. That's the point Cap was making at the beginning of Civil War when General Ross comes first. He's like, people have agendas, and agendas change. That's the situation with Hydra, with S.H.I.E.L.D., with Sokovia Accords, and the same thing. So I think Cap was ahead of his time. Like, he was right. Like, you can't really trust the government or any international organization to do the right thing. They're going to do what they want to do based on what they want at that moment. Political alliances. He says, we're the Avengers. We go in when we see a problem and we stop it.
Yep.
And I think this show makes a very good case that, Cap is kind of right.
Yeah.
And by the way, I saw Sharon Carter there, so I'm guessing she's the power broker, because
she's the power broker, bro.
What did everyone know this except me?
Yeah,
yeah.
But now it's confirmed, I guess.
Yesterday when I told you, Tyler really did not see that coming. He was like, I
bet you didn't see that coming. No, I didn't. I didn't expect Sharon to be the
terrible accent. He didn't see that coming.
I
had the same accent. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just speaking of Marvel, staying in the Marvel use. There's a petition online from Marvel fans to recast Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther 2.
Really?
What do you guys think of that?
Wait, what?
There is a online petition. I believe it's got already a couple thousand signatures to recast Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther 2, to recast his character. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
So that the character could live on.
Correct.
Right, and so we have to make a decision. We have to make the decision, like, what is more healthy for audiences, to recast the character or to move on from the character in somehow, some way, with whether it recycled footage, whether it's deep fake or whatever, include him at one point and Paul Walker him in a sense. Right.
Yeah.
Ride off into the sunset and just say that he can't do it anymore, or potentially the Princess Leia route where she also passed away and he also passed away. But it has to be tasteful. But what's the healthiest way for everyone? And I think that's what what options we're weighing here.
Did Disney already say they're not going to recast him? I mean,
they're firm on what they're saying, but I think that's because that's what they're thinking about right now. How you doing, Patricia? I think that they don't really know what the best option is, just like the rest of us don't.
Yeah, there is no good option.
There is.
I'm sure Disney's looking at the return receipts for because Black Panther was a huge hit. It was bigger than all the other Marvel movies, aside from the Avengers films. That movie made like 1.7 billion or something like that. It made like more than Age of Ultron. Like, they don't want to all of a sudden say goodbye. Right. They're like, dude, we have money to make. And so I'm sure there's probably talk like, well, what if we did recast it? What if we got Idris Elba, everyone's favorite black actor that they want in every role? Let's just get him. I'm sure we're looking at that. They don't want to let go of that franchise, because also it was the first major black superhero. and for him to die and then let him go. I also see the other side that's kind of distasteful if you just recast him. Like, all right, he's dead. Let's move on to the next one. Look how mad people are still about Superman. Like, yeah, Christopher Reeve is still the Superman. Like, it's hard to let go. And I think if you replace Chadwick Boseman so soon, it seems kind of, I don't know, like disrespectful. The guy just died, and we're like, yep, let's move on to the next one. Assembly. And I know that's very much the MCU mindset, assembly line, but
right. And I understand, what the fans are saying to continue the legacy of the character and all of that. But there's a lot of other African American superheroes in that world in Wakanda that can have a chance to shine, and that can give audiences who don't maybe know these characters, like Shuri in the comics takes the mantle of Black Panther. So I think it's one of those things. Like, people are going to be mad either way.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Damned, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. At the moment, I would leave. I mean, it's obvious they're, within the context of Falcon and Winter Soldier, he is alive. Because when they were filming it, when they were writing it, he was alive, and now they're like, oh, well, how do we handle this? There's possible that there was mention of him too, but they probably cut it out of the show back when they were filming it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, possibly. Exactly.
And, So what did you guys think of the Isaiah story where you find out that
it's so deep.
Yeah, it turns out the government, of course, let's go back to the Tuskegee experiment. They were, experimenting on black thing. And then he's like, America will never stand a black Captain America,
Right.
And then Sam takes it to heart. And then his sister's the one who kind of knocks that out of him. She's like, you got to keep fighting. And he has to become Captain America, whether people like it or not, because Cap chose him,
Yeah, and I think that's a powerful.
Yeah, I think it was
because put it this way.
Absolutely.
You're a person of same color is saying any self-respecting black man would not want to do this.
Yeah.
And then Sam's like, and now he's tackling the choice, like, all right, am I self-respecting or am I not? And like, what's the right thing to do here? And I think his sister tells him, like, Steve chose you.
Yeah.
He didn't choose some random person on the street.
Yeah.
He chose you.
Yeah.
Because, Captain America isn't about being black or white. It's about
being
Captain America.
Exactly. And so when he said, like, any self-respecting black man, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Because, like, are you saying that black people can't be patriots?
Right, right.
It got, for a second, it got a little too social justice-y for me, but I understood what they were trying to say. Because then Bucky says, like, I never thought about, like, okay, you're black and I'm making you Captain America, that there's meaning behind that. But why not? Maybe that's what needs to be broken.
And that's another thing. I thought that was really eye-opening, that, but I don't know if they retcon this, like, and use that as a way to retcon it. But for we didn't really know, like, when did Steve and Bucky have that conversation? When did they have that conversation? Because we all were wondering at one point, there was a time where we were wondering who would be the next Captain America, Bucky or Sam.
I'm guessing it must have happened at some point between the end of the battle where they defeated Thanos, because when they say goodbye to each other and he's like, don't do anything stupid, I'm taking all the stupid with you. Right. It seemed like Bucky kind of knew that was goodbye. So I'm assuming between the end of the battle where they defeat Thanos, Tony dies, that's why he kind of nods, like when they must have had a conversation in between them.
And not only that, he's he kind of walks away and looks at Sam as like, now you go say your goodbye. I already got mine done.
I always found that a little strange. I'll be honest with you. For me,
it felt like, because look, Sam and Bucky have known each other for 100+ years, or almost, so it's like they, I don't, like you said, maybe it happened in between Endgame and stuff.
Sam and Steve, you mean, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
No, not Sam and Steve. My God, now I'm all confused. But Bucky and Steve. Bucky known each other for hundreds of years. Yeah, but that's what I found to be off. Was I was like, wait, why didn't we get to see that? But in reality, like,
it's implied. Yeah,
I think it would be implied, and then this show, affirms that. It's Yeah, I knew what he was doing.
By the way, small cool moment when Sam is training with the Shield, when he decided to take up the Shield, his nephews were saying, "Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam."
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
I didn't
Sam,
catch that. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that's kind of reference to that guy. I want you. Like, now you're the Uncle Sam. You're the because the Captain America is like the MCU's Uncle Sam. Like, even in the posters and like Captain America, like, I want you, buy war bonds. Like, now you're the new symbol of America, and it is a black man. And people just have to deal with it.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
I'm surprised no one's made a black Uncle Sam. I'd be down with Sam Wilson with the the hat on and everything. Like, someone's got to make that. Boss Logic, get on it.
Boss Logic.
Wow, I might make it.
Right.
That's crazy though. I didn't even catch that. See, I think this show's doing a really good job of like symbolism and maybe telling the line. Like, I don't think we ever really like tackled too much racism in the MCU, and I think Disney Plus is allowing them to explore avenues they've never been able to explore before, and I find that refreshing. Yeah, I'll be honest. This is a refreshing series.
Yeah,
like it really is.
This should have been the start of Phase 4, not WandaVision. Like you've been saying, you're right. This should have been the start. And I'm guessing if COVID wasn't a factor, it probably would have. I'm guessing this show probably needed a lot more special effects than WandaVision. Honestly, I don't even think WandaVision should have been on its own. I think it should have been played at the same time. Because after this, if you were to go to WandaVision, it might have still felt like a step down in terms of intensity. But if you had both shows on concurrently, let's say one on a Monday, one on a Friday or something like that, it would have been a nice balance. I think people would be able to – it's like having dessert and then, Falcon and Winter Soldier is your main course. You get two sides of the MCU.
Yeah, that would have been a good a healthy mix. It actually probably would have been a good idea. Yeah. But I think they're thinking more of like, how do we milk everyone? How do we keep everyone subscribed to Disney Plus? And you can't hate them for that.
Loki's what? July, June?
July, June.
June, yeah.
I don't know.
It's this summer.
I think Loki's gonna
be the best out of all three of them.
I do believe that, and it's not because it's not because I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is bad or anything. I think it's amazing. I think the character Loki and the way that they're going to explore this story, I think this is going to tie directly into Endgame.
Okay.
Like they're really picking up after he leaves, right? So
literally exactly.
I think this is just going to be a fun ride, right? It's going to be fun, adventurous, action based, and
time travel,
and it definitely keeps the momentum of Endgame with the time travel. It brings in the time variance authority, which is a whole new concept in the MCU. And I do think
because I am curious, like, so this Loki is not the Loki who died in Infinity War. It's not the Loki who was in Ragnarok, who became a hero. This is still a kind of a bad Loki. It's the Loki who blew up New York City. So I'm assuming WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are still in the original timeline where Ragnarok happened, where Loki died on the Statesman and everything, right? I'm assuming that, right?
Yes.
I would think, yeah.
Okay. Because now there's another,
everything's going to happen the way it did, right? It's just like, so when Loki was misplaced, we have to go back to the Ancient One's conversation with the Hulk, right? Yeah. And how she explains what happens when something is misplaced, right? We get a branch off, right? And things, like you get a linear thing and then whoop, things will change. So when Loki was misplaced, I'm assuming there's an alternate timeline where something changes, right? And then it goes down a different path. But our path is still the same.
So in the Marvel, they have this kind of time police. I know they have them in Legends of Tomorrow. I would say Legends of the Guardians, Legends of Tomorrow, because also
that's who the TVA are.
Yeah, but even in Star Trek, they have this thing where like they have these future kind of so Starfleet is set usually in the 25th century, but they're like the 35th. And they come back and like, okay, you guys screwed up this, you guys screwed up that. Oh yeah. So Pat McAfee, is he a football commentator? I think, right?
I don't know. Much about whoever that is.
Yeah. So I know they let go a bunch of wrestlers the other day.
Really?
Yeah, WWE. Yeah, they've been struggling, and they don't say it, but they've been struggling because their biggest source of income
is fans in the stands.
Yeah, in the
fans
stands,
in the stands, baby.
And like they've had 2 WrestleManias. This is the first year I did not watch WrestleMania in a long time. There's no energy without a crowd there.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a crowd. I thought.
Oh, maybe they did. I didn't bother watching this year.
I had pictures of it.
Okay, they probably did. Like I tuned out last year, and my favorite wrestler is gone at the moment. She's pregnant with child, so I'm like, all right, whatever. But like, yeah, they're kind of struggling right now because like they can't have 50,000 or 20,000. He was a punter for the Colts, and now he hosts a podcast. Okay, so he hosts. I knew he did something with commentary. Jack Pierre is saying, okay, he hosts a podcast. That's what it was. Okay, so yeah, WWE is starting to get like actual like. You know, they're trying to get into like the Sports Center game. Even one of their former commentators, Jonathan Coachman, went to Sports Center or went to ESPN. I don't really watch sports outside of baseball. The only time I watch ESPN is when there's a baseball game on ESPN. But yeah, that's pretty interesting because I don't know. Did you guys ever watch wrestling back in the day?
I did a little bit growing up. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
I actually really loved it. But I liked it when it was pure. I think it's not pure anymore. Yeah. I think it's different. I think it's, I think they've wrote out the gimmicks a little bit harder, or maybe even a little bit less for all I know. Yeah. But like guys like The Rock, Stone Cold, Kane, Undertaker, like those are different guys. And then once John Cena came, that's when like the new crowd was coming.
Yeah.
Right? John Cena changed what wrestlers looked like.
Yeah.
Right? They could be, wear jorts and chains and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Before that, your gimmick was your outfit as well. Like your outfit matched your gimmick, which matched your side stories or your everything else. I mean, we had guys like Gold Dust. Virtually throwaway characters.
But what was cool is this is before social media. We didn't know much about wrestlers outside of what we knew on TV.
Right, because
now you can go Google a wrestler, find out who they have. I thought Kane and Undertaker were actually brothers, not like in the show, but I felt like in real life.
And you couldn't find where they actually came from.
It's Mayor Kane.
Man.
I get it, right? He's mayor of an actual city, which I find really, really crazy, but good for him. If Arnold could be a governor, Kane can be a mayor. But
Jesse Ventura.
What was I saying? Oh, Kane and Undertaker is like they're from Death Valley. They're brothers. And nobody really knew much else about them. As first off,
I thought they were real brothers.
Yeah,
I felt like in real life they're probably related to each other. Like in real life, you know what I mean? Like they must be really brothers because they looked exactly the same. They both
we
had
didn't
the
know
same
what
height.
Kane looked like for 12 years.
Yeah, we didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know what Triple H's real name was.
Right.
I remember when I was a kid, they used to have these Scholastic book fairs and they had these like unauthorized biographies of Steve Austin. And that blew our mind. Like, oh my God, his name was Steve Williams. Oh, wow. Like you didn't know this. We didn't know what The Rock was when I was a kid. I'm like, what is he? Is he Spanish? Is he Middle Eastern?
Right.
He didn't tell you. And there was no way for you to go find that out. So that mystery was there. Now you see a wrestler. It's like an actor. Okay, they were born here. Oh, they're on Instagram. They're at Denny's having breakfast with the other wrestlers, But like back in the day, the good guys never hung out with the bad guys. They had to keep that illusion up, So even though you knew it was fake, there was some sense of like
they still played the part a little better than they do now.
Like Joaquin Phoenix when he was on Letterman, he just stayed on character and acted like the dude in that documentary. Like there was,
Right.
Now it's just like they're actors, And here's the thing, like in terms of talent, their wrestling ability is so good, but like. It is kind of bland. They kind of blew up a couple of years ago because they had this girl named Becky Lynch. She took her actual frustrations because she was Irish, so they kept giving her the Irish gimmicks. Like, oh, she's doing like what's that stuff called the Lord of the Dance crap? River Dance, right? She was doing that. Then she got so mad at like social media. She's like, I'm tired of this. I want to be a badass. So they made her a bad guy, and people started cheering her. Like it was the opposite effect. And then she became huge. She main evented WrestleMania. And that wasn't a woke move like, oh, let's put a woman at WrestleMania. No, she was just so popular. She was my favorite. I'm like, dude, she was badass. She got her nose busted up and she was bleeding. That was not supposed to happen. But like that became a t-shirt then. That felt organic. That felt natural,
Yeah. where I feel like a lot of it's forced now.
Yeah. Like Steve Austin is a redneck from Texas who lives on a ranch.
Yeah. He drives a giant ass truck, like drinks a ton of beer, like, and it's
the dude is worth like $80 million, and he still drives like a 20-year-old, like, freaking ranch truck. That's just who he is.
Awesome.
Has clean wazers.
I mean, there was literally a wrestler who, like, his finishing move was to stick his ass in your face.
Oh, Rikishi.
Yeah, man, come on. It doesn't get better.
The Rock.
It doesn't get better than
same
this.
family.
It doesn't get better than this.
Yeah. No, there's this one wrestler they have in like the independent circuit. I don't know what his name is, but he's got like this stash, and he does this thing where people grab his crotch and then he flexes, and the people are like, and then he like does this. It's like the idea his penis is so powerful, like flips the guy. You have got to see it.
Nah.
She said, nah.
Can you like share a video of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now. You guys keep. But like the idea is like that's going the other way, where it's so hokey, it's funny.
Yeah. It's fucking really weird.
And that's the thing, man. I think you have to embrace it because, like you said, everybody knows the gimmick at this point. Yeah. Just embrace it.
A lot of us didn't know wrestling was fake either.
Right? Yeah. Growing up, I had no clue. Watching as a kid, I was they're beating the crap out of each other with chairs and desks and just.
My cousin will tell you right to your face that on multiple occasions we cried together.
Yeah.
About wrestling.
Right.
All right, I found it. It's only 30 seconds, but like here we go.
Oh man.
This guy, it's his gimmick, and he still does it. Everyone knows it's a joke, but like he's kind of having fun with it. I'm gonna share the video right now. Let me see. There you go. Can you guys see it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
There we go. Got it?
Yeah.
He does this a lot. And then watch, he's gonna flip him with his penis. Like, it's so stupid. But see, like, that's going the other way. That's like taking it like too far. You know what I mean?
Yo, what is going on? What did I just watch? Hold on, play that again.
Sorry, I turned it off. But
play that again.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it again.
Does he have a real grip on his dick?
Probably not. That's probably just like
cup or something, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh boy.
Oh man, this is rough.
I'm with Jack. See what Jack said? I'm with Jack. What did I just?
I like how he grabs it, not like he like makes him grab it. It's like he just has to grab
willingly it. Just like.
I think the idea is that he's going for like a low blow or something because all wrestlers do it. Like it's his gimmick, and like the whole crowd goes nuts.
Oh my god.
But like that's where it's like, all right, you know what? It's kind of hokey. Let's go all the way with the hokiness. There's another wrestler.
But then go play that WWE clip from the corner up there. WWF, I should say.
Yeah.
And just watch what like older wrestling was like for
this right here.
Yeah.
I gotta share the audio. I didn't share the audio. Shit. Crap.
This is Mean Gene, baby. I love when Mean Gene would come on and do the interviews.
Yeah. He just passed away too, didn't he?
I have no idea. Did he?
Yeah, Mean Gene passed away. Recently. They did a whole thing.
I remember Michael Coleman came in and The Rock would like tool on him and call him a jabroni, but Mean Gene was the original, like,
really good.
Can you guys hear it?
All right, here we go.
Maybe we'll watch a little bit of that tennis.
This is up first, right here.
Can you guys hear it?
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay. Why can't I? Oh, because I gotta switch the sound.
I'll be gentle. Oh, I love you. Oh. We'll get you back up into the ring in just a moment or two for more.
That didn't really make my point, but
wrong video.
The Barber Beefcake, please. You've already.
I mean, these guys are so hopped up on steroids and cocaine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even funny.
I mean, look how big this dude is.
Oh, yeah.
And this dude's gimmick was that he was a barber. He would cut your hair.
Right, Lord Alfred Hayes?
If you say so, Gene.
Maybe we can get Vinny and maybe some of the other boys.
Come on, sir.
I like to.
But like, did you ever see like the Rock stuff? Like that's what I was doing last week.
Yeah,
when
actually,
I was, like,
can you look up maybe a couple couple of the Rock's interviews? Those are more pertinent to like my point.
Right.
What wrestling became. That was when wrestling was at its pinnacle. I know people like to say like the 80s and the late 80s were the best for wrestling, but I would beg to differ and say late 90s, early 2000s were the best wrestling.
If you smell
we don't want to get copyright struck.
is cooking.
Pause. There we go. Let me skip that. Oh, this is his older stuff. I'm trying to find that's his newer stuff. Here we go. Like this is let's skip right here.
Bronies start playing Ali and Frazier.
I remember that. I remember looking at you, sitting there picking your nose, wiping it on your shirt. Eddie Guerrero, you are a movie star. There's something up with The Rock. Who were you? Were you Cheech or Chaw?
You could never get away with that anymore.
Juan Guerrero, they're out of control. Out of control. They're gonna get their monkey asses whooped tonight. The Rock's ribs, The Rock's ass. The Rock's got hurt ribs. Big deal. It's no big deal at all. The Rock says this. You go ahead and take out The Rock's ribs. Fine. Take off one of The Rock's arms. He'll fight you with the other arm. You take off one of The Rock's legs. The Rock will hobble and hobble and hobble and keep hobbling and whoop the monkey ass.
Dude, he's so much bigger now. Like he's like 31, 32 here, but he's way bigger. At age 48.
The people's testicles. Oh yeah, The Rock will take the other one. Throw it way up in the air. Keep watching it. Damn, that's a good ass testicle. The Rock will take his boot, shine it up real nice. Excuse The Rock. Turn that son bitch sideways and stick it straight up. Benoit Guerrero's 10.
Oh, Benoit, that's a name they don't mention anymore.
After the show,
there we go.
What you gonna do?
He's gonna make fun of this guy.
Shut up.
The coach.
With a haircut like that and a face like that, it looks like Billy Ray Cyrus went ahead and had sex with a retarded hyena.
Can you imagine them saying that now?
Oh my God.
Shut your mouth.
That would never happen now.
Yeah, man, that's the difference. The Rock was always a good actor.
So, do you remember this whole thing where Stone Cold Steve Austin got hit with a truck?
Yes.
And it was a setup because they created this story because Austin actually needed neck surgery, so they had to get rid of him for about a year. So this whole case, like, who actually did it? And everyone kept saying The Rock did it. So The Rock, and so Mick Foley
no. But wasn't it Rikishi?
It was Rikishi, right? So this is when the investigations actually.
I did it for the people.
Yeah, here we go.
I remember that.
Oh my God. Like, I'm like, like they couldn't get away with that now.
Oh my God.
No way.
Too good. The
No
Rock
way.
is too good.
But it's hilarious. Oh my God, is it hilarious?
And by the way, they weren't scripted. The Rock would practice his promos. He would write his own thing, and he would come out and say, like, all right, I'm going to say this about you, like, kind of plainly. But nowadays, wrestlers, they say everything is scripted, and it feels scripted. So, like, back in the day, like, now when a wrestler says, I'm going to kick your ass, like, it feels so hokey.
Right.
But when Steve Austin did it, you believed it. Like, I'm gonna come up there and open up a can of whoop ass on you. You know, like you're like, oh, that dude's about to start some shit. You know,
and you're like, that dude's about to open a can of whoop ass.
Exactly.
He's literally good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Pretty wild. How? Yeah. Oh my God. It's pretty wild.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like, yeah.
And yeah, like the entertainment factor and the entertainment value of it is changed and. That whatever, but I thought those late 90s, early 2000s wrestling, I mean, it was at its absolute best
because they were taking risks. Now they don't.
And there was a storyline. Another thing that couldn't happen. There was a storyline where Booker T had sex with a dead body. I mean, I'm not joking.
I think it was Triple H, wasn't it, or Kane? I don't know if it was.
No, someone asked, who has sex with a dead body, and like Booker T like slowly raises his hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, there used to be a wrestler from the 60s and 70s named Mae Young. They brought her in as like an 80-year-old wrestler.
Yeah, I know.
And then she had a relationship with a guy named Sexual Chocolate, a big black kind of Barry Mark Henry, right? And then she got pregnant, and then like she gives birth to a freaking hand. And they showed that on TV. Like she's in labor, and like it's just a hand. I'm like, oh, and of course I'm too young. I don't know anything about what menopause is, so I'm like, wow, she got her pregnant.
Oh my God. That's
oh
hilarious.
and
they put that 80-year-old woman through a table one time. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. And a hand.
Yeah, just a hand. So she's got her legs up and like they just take out a hand. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh man. Oh god. Say what you want. Say whatever. It's fake. It was
entertaining.
It was funny, yeah.
I paid $7,500 to go that.
Yeah.
I did on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Well, someone else paid because I was like, 10. But I mean, we just had the greatest times, and that's why, like, when wrestling changed, it wasn't because I grew up that I got out of it. It was because it changed. It truly changed, and I was done with it.
If they were to see right now, here's the thing: wrestling was for kids, like 70s, 80s, 90s, and then the mid to late 90s, they went full for teenagers, like and now they're back to children. I think they realize that, look, we can't go back to that. But if there's anything in the culture right now, so right now the culture is very PC, very non-offensive, very, whatever. Wrestling can be that counterculture where they push the limits and like, we're going to give you characters. We're going to, they could do that. I'm for that because I'm very hungry for something. The only thing I can think of right now is South Park, and South Park's not even doing shows at the moment. Right. Like just something that just says, F you to you who want to tell us how to watch things, what we find funny. Yeah, Stone Cold spraying beer.
Remember the truck?
Yeah.
He brought out one time?
Yeah. Yep. He did that here in Philly. No, he did that before WrestleMania, and that was in Philly. WrestleMania 15, where that's when The Rock was a bad guy, but like, I love that.
And that's another thing that I used to love is like people went through phases and transitions.
Yeah.
Like Triple H was a good guy, bad guy. The Rock had a couple sprees with being a good guy, bad guy, but you still liked him. And Kane, Undertaker, like when you would know when they turned.
Yeah.
Right. Like DX is another group that I don't care what there's no other wrestling group would ever be like DX, because I loved when DX would get like they were like a band. They were constantly breaking up and back together and yada yada. And I mean, what's Shawn Michaels doing these days?
He's making like religious movies for like Christian networks these days.
All right.
I think they brought him back for one more match, and he was not in good shape because his last match was with The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and actually it's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. But like they brought him back in Saudi Arabia because the Saudis are paying him a lot of money, and it was an awful match. He's like 56 now. It's like, But
what was the best match you ever saw? Was it that one?
That Taker versus Heartbreak Kid in like 2006. I wasn't even watching it back then, but like they were both in their early 40s, kind of in their prime. And that match at WrestleMania 25, I want to say, it's actually amazing. My dad watched it twice. He's like, wow, that was a great match. Like great storytelling, great physicality. The Undertaker can still move. Like now he's like pushing 60 and they're like still pulling him out because they don't have any stars.
Right.
They have to pull out these 60-year-old wrestlers or 55-year-old wrestlers.
Did he still go through the gimmick?
He does. Wow. But like now I think he's officially retired. But like he'll come out just to cut a promo and it will get more viewers because,
it's The Undertaker.
Is The Undertaker.
Like,
and
rolls
like
the eyes back, lifts his hands up and, the smoke rises. Like, dude, the dude was, I mean, like, I remember when he came back after, I mean, we're talking quite some time gone. When he came back, it was at a main event or something like that. Or not a main event. I think it was at like SummerSlam or something like that. And he came back after a long hiatus, back as the undead Undertaker. Right?
It was WrestleMania.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he went through a period where he did the biker thing because it wasn't working in the Attitude Era, the whole Undertaker thing. So he came back as a biker, which I thought was cool, which worked.
I did, yeah, the badass, the American badass.
He used to come out on a motorcycle, and then they brought him back as the Dead Man.
Yeah.
With the monks and like the flames.
Yeah,
and,
when he came back out like that, bro.
Yeah.
It was a wrap. Like
to fight Kane.
Yeah, we were like, there was like, and this is the thing, like those wrestling events were like what UFC does now. Like you had 10 people in the room, like, and when Undertaker came out like that. Like we were all like jumping up and down, like throwing our KFC at the walls and stuff. We
used to go nuts. I remember when so Austin had to get his neck surgery, right? So he was gone for a good year, and The Rock had been a good guy for about a while now. and he had a match against Triple H, and Triple H had Shane McMahon as a guest referee, Vince McMahon as an enforcer. So Linda McMahon brought Stone Cold, and we hadn't seen Stone Cold for about 8 or 9 months. And as The Rock is about to be cheated out of his title shot, Stone Cold comes out for 1 minute, hits everyone with chairs, and leaves. Like the whole crowd went nuts. Like I remember me, and my sister, and my parents were just cheering like kids, like just screaming, like it felt fresh back then. And we knew it was orchestrated, but like we didn't know what was coming. You didn't know what was going to happen. Now you know exactly what's going to happen.
Now you got me in the mood to watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This entrance is so. This is when he finally came back as a dead man.
Helps you find whatever you're looking for. Like sunscreen for keeping your family safe.
This is a skipper one. This is you have to watch
it. Dude,
one.
15-second ads are the worst. That you can't skip.
Yeah, man.
Great stuff.
It doesn't get better than that, man.
Well, like it was entertaining, like
you're right though. You're right. Like people like, oh God, did we get taken down for that?
Yeah, we got taken down.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, you can't believe really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other videos weren't WWE, I guess, because they were like ripped off. People ripped them off. Oh shoot! So is anyone? So we're not on YouTube anymore?
No.
Probably on Periscope only.
Yeah, because there's 3 people are watching us. Oh shoot.